Hello, lovely to see you all again. In my last video, I spoke about psychic surgery, and I'd love to fill you in on what that means. When I was really sick, when I was 28, I met this beautiful shaman psychic, and she was the only one after seeing a gazillion practitioners and doctors and anyone in the medical and in the alternative world that couldn't really tell me what was wrong with me, or it could tell me many times different things that were wrong with me, but whatever modality they used on me or whatever healing tools they gave me wouldn't heal me. And she basically scanned my body and told me all the symptoms, all the explanations of the symptoms that I had. And immediately, I was sold. I thought, okay, this is real, this is the real deal. And so in the end, I started studying with her, and she taught us to also read ourselves and others. But I have to say that my talent has basically evolved into reading the emotional part, the emotional component, not as much the physical component. But I do know we all have that capacity. And I've been going through a little bit of a healing journey myself in the last months. And I'm just diving in and trying to see and figure out how I can psychic surgery myself, because that's what she um, has taught us to do. Now, the interesting thing is, just to give you an example of how I know it works and how we actually can um, go into the body and be right about what we see or feel, even with other people, is an example of me working in New Mexico. I lived there for a couple of months, and I had a friend, an acupuncturist, and he was dealing with severe toothache. So he went to Mexico, went over the border to see a dentist because they're much cheaper there, and came back, and his pain was still agonizing. He was still in a lot of pain. So he said to me, Kat, can you just travel in and check me? And I thought, oh my God, I probably have no idea how to do a thing like that. But I said, sure, let's give it a go. If you don't know, you don't try, and you will never know. So I traveled in and tried to figure out, where the jaw was. He showed me exactly where it was. And what I saw was a little piece of his tooth, of his molar, was still there. And it was affected, and it tried to come out, but it wouldn't. So the area around it seemed still infected. Anyway, that's what I said. And we were going to then go in and do psychic surgery. But he said, no, I'm going to meditate on this. I'll do this myself. I said, okay, great. Um, and then he called me a week later and he said, well, I actually drove back to Mexico to this dentist. I let them cut me open. I was like, oh my God. Okay. And he said, you're right. There was exactly like you said, a piece of tooth still there. And I was like, thank God that was really there, because I was, how do you know this is right? I was really afraid that he would have cut himself open for nothing, and maybe nothing was there. But it also gave me a bit of confidence. It showed how much confidence he had in me and in my gifts. And I kind of thought, oh, well, I'm just fantasizing. I'm going in. Oh, yeah, well, probably, a piece of tooth. But it also gave me the confidence of actually what we do with our intuition in traveling into our own bodies or in people that we really love and trying to figure out what's wrong. We have that gift, we have that capacity to actually figure out what is wrong. So today I'm not going to take very long, but I'd love for you to just think of something in your life um, that physically keeps calling you back. So for me in this moment, I've got some issues with digestion, or I've had some issues with digestion. It's much better now. And the part that kept coming up was my stomach. And I wasn't sure whether it was my stomach, my gallbladder, or my bowel. I just had no idea. And I've been muscle testing it, and it gave me some kind of idea, but not to the specifics. So what I did is I traveled in, and it showed me my stomach, but not the full stomach. It went to basically a part in the stomach that is kind of like the pathway, the tube towards the small intestine. And it's actually called the pyloric sphincter. I had to look it up. I kind of then, now it becomes interesting. Now you become a little bit of a medical doctor. You go to whatever organ or whatever part of your body is hurting and you Google it. And then you're going to kind of travel in and ask, okay, is it this part? Is it that part? What am I seeing actually? Because I saw it was that lower part and it was inflamed. So now I know what it is. I can just go in there, travel in there, and start healing it and ask this part of my body, what does it actually need? And for me, it felt really inflamed. So, what I've been doing, I've been putting a lot of almost like a barrier in between the food and the acid that was coming through so that it wouldn't be as inflamed. But it also, when I asked more questions and I traveled in, I asked, okay, what else can I do? Is there a supplement I can take? So it told me enzymes. Enzymes would help me break the food a bit better. And then I would even, after I've done the physical healing, I would ask, okay, is there any emotion evolved in this area? How much of this is emotional? Now, for the people that are used to do muscle testing or are used to use a pendulum, you can easily find the percentage of what this part of your body is actually needing or how healthy it actually is. So what I often do is I put my hand there and I ask, how happy are you? How healthy are you? And I ask like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Well, it was 20. So today it's 80%. Was a couple of weeks ago, it was 20. So with this psychic surgery, what I have been doing, I've brought it up to an 80%. And if you don't know how to do the muscle testing, it's actually learning to align yourself. And I can actually teach you that. Just send me a blurb, and if I have enough people, I'll do my next session on that. But if you are not interested in the muscle testing, because muscle testing, what it does, it tests your subconscious, and your subconscious has all the answers, right? So if your finger stays really strong, it is a yes, and if it's weak, it will let it through. Your body can't hold it. So if I say my name is Kat, it will hold, but if I say my name is Peter, it will obviously go. Now, there's a few more things that you need to really start trusting that. But even if you don't rely on the muscle testing, you can ask your body and you can ask, okay, how happy are you from a scale of 0 to 10? And a number will pop up. Put it in your hand on your heart and it will say 3. Okay, what do you need to go from a 3 to a 10? So that's what I've been doing. I've been communicating with my body and asking, what is it that you need to heal this part? So I'd love for you to see if there is a part of your body where you would like to go to, and then let's do it for 1 minute now. But you can do it much more extensively in your own time, and even Google and make it your own little healing journey if you wanted to. If you feel it's not physical but emotional, your body will happily tell you. That's the beauty about being energy in a physical body. You are kind of in interaction. Your body is your friend. And this is what I think it's kind of my lesson that I learned, that I'm kind of like my main lesson here is to connect with the body and understanding the body, and then work with the energy that I really am, and then to make those two in balance with each other and in a playful interaction instead of a burden, if that makes sense. So just if you feel like it, close your eyes and pick an area that you think needs healing right now. And if you don't know, just let your body tell you, just the first part of your body that comes up. And then when you really feel it, see it, experience it, just dive in and try to get a picture. Just dive in wherever that is and try to see, feel, and experience what it looks like. So your mind might draw a picture physically, but doesn't quite know what this part of your body actually really looks like. So this is where you can Google it. But energetically, does it feel dark? Does it feel light? Does it feel bright? Um, does it need more expansion? This is where you're going in with energy, and you're going to see what does it actually need in this particular part of your body. So, for example, with me in the stomach, it needed that softening, and I kept pushing in lots of white light. For me, that always works really well. Sometimes an organ needs gentle pink, a softness or a relaxation. So I'd love for you to just play with that and really become in tuned with that. Because I think when you do, what will start happening is that more and more you just focus on your body, and instantly your subconscious knows what to do and your body will respond really quick. um, so go to that part, see what you need, and also keep asking, do is it an emotion? Is there some emotion still left that I can heal? And if yes, what can I do to release that? So for me, stomach was often worry. What am I worried about? Okay, how can I relieve this worry? What can I do for you? And it's often just even a cuddle, as if it is a child, and tell it it's all going to be okay. That can already heal that part for 80%. So I would love for you to really feel, is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it physical? And then you can test that, or you can hear, in your body which one it is. And then start asking, what do you need? And by now, you've already heard maybe, oh, I need magnesium. Oh, I actually need massage. Oh, actually, I need some calm time. You know, so if something really interesting came up for you, let me know. Put it in the messages below. I will do a bigger meditation again in a couple of weeks' time. And then I would like to dive in more as well. Having said that, I'm going to let come through what that group needs in that moment. So it might be a different topic. It might be it depends on what you guys want, and what that particular group that shows up wants. But if you're interested in this one, let me know, and I might do a separate session on that, and might definitely bring it into that meditation that I'm going to give in a couple of weeks' time. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this was an interesting little video for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.